You know, people get up every day, they do the same thing. They tell themselves they're gonna change their life one day, and they never do. I'm gonna change mine.
People cap themselves. They look at somebody, and because their mind can't imagine it, they then start talking shit. He has to be doing this, or has to be doing that, there has to be some trick, there has to be some potion. This is bullshit. No, it's because you cannot allow your mind to open up for the possibility of it can be done, which is why you being people are where they are today. Because you've shackled your mind to have limits.
You really should be afraid of. Now, you shouldn't allow it to immobilize you. You acknowledge it, you take it into account, and you carry yourself accordingly. There are times that we should proceed with caution, but it's the difference between being stopped by fear. It's the difference between having a fear and the fear having you. Don't condemn yourself for being afraid. It's perfectly fine to have some fears. You acknowledge your fears, you embrace those fears, and then you move on. You act on whatever it is that you fear. Because once you embrace it, see, what you resist will persist. What you resist will persist. So one of the most important things is to begin to embrace your fear.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
Most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell.
Big mental thing there, guys. This body, as great as you are, as sharp as you make the arsenal, it can't do anything if you don't have confidence in yourself. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, "What if?" Because what if never went to the arena. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear, and the reason why, behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it too. It's an intangible.
I've trained 99% of my life alone. No one pat me on the back. I did all of the work alone. And while I'm still hard on myself, I know what I did. So whenever times get bad for people, all this, who's gonna carry the bolts and luck? That's real. I hate that people know me for that guy, because that guy is not every fucking day. Like when they see me, they want that energy. That's not me every day. I can extract it immediately when I need to, because when you train alone, and I lived alone for so many years in this misery, and you're able to get out of it by yourself, I can take myself to such a level of real passion and purpose, and like the feeling I get is something I can't even explain by myself. I don't need anyone. That's why people come to me to motivate them. No one can motivate me.
The sun don't stop for nobody, man. Sun don't stop. Sun gonna be up in the morning regardless. That sun is gonna be up in the morning regardless of how I fucking feel and how depressed I am. The sun is gonna fucking shine in the morning, and at nighttime the moon gonna be there, and you gonna look up, these days gonna keep going by. So do you let the days go by and look up and you done wasted a year doing what? Or do you just pick it up? All right, gotta figure it out, made some mistakes, life goes on.
It's a journey. It's a journey. all right? You start where you are today and you say, I wish I was that man right there. But I'm not, and I don't mean that particular person, I mean that kind of man. I wish that is the kind of man that I was. Well, it might be a long journey to get to that man, but start. Work at it all the time, make sacrifices. If you don't have a destination, how do you know when you've arrived? And how do you know how to get there if you don't know where you're going? Sit down and figure out, what kind of man do I want to be? And then begin the journey.
God will never give you something somebody else is supposed to have. I'll say it again. God has already figured out what he has in mind for you. And he will never give you something that somebody else is supposed to have. So why are you threatened and insecure about what everybody else has and their blessings and their opportunities? Have you even spent enough time to mold and shape and focus on your own gifts and talents in your craft? Here you are mad and jealous about what somebody else is doing, and you don't even focus on your own shit. You out here clubbing, partying. As soon as you get a text message when you're about to focus on your craft, you dropped your craft to go focus on some ratchet bullshit.
Why not you? Why not you? With good self-esteem. Why not you starting to change and setting goals? Why not you starting to make progress toward financial independence? If I can do it, you can do it. I wished I had a lot more testimonials here today besides mine. A whole steady stream that would come by and tell you their story. Someone who started with nothing, finally run a big enterprise. If we can read, you can read. If we can change, you can change. If we can figure it out, you can figure it out. If we can turn it around, you can turn it around. There isn't anything you can't accomplish. That's what those testimonials would say. And so I want to say it to you personally. Why not you?
Life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And the shit I was telling myself was so tough, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day. And I started creating a whole nother warfare, a whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Goggins. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles. It was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go.
If you find a fear, the quickest, the easiest way you can beat it is initially, right when it comes in. If you allow it to sit, it will grow roots and start breaking you down, destroying the potential of the person you can be. Again, the champions, guys. It's not their potential, it's not their genetics. It's their perseverance to always show up, always willing to fail, because in failure, that's part of success. Success is not, a marathon of life with just ups. Success is formulated through failures, through facing your fears, through falling down and getting back up. That's what creates the champion. Success does not define us. We define the success.
The desire to rest was just weakness. It was just the desire to take the path of least resistance, the downhill path, the easy path. And by simply going through the motions, you overcame that path. And you stayed on the righteous path, the disciplined path. You stayed on the war path, which is right where you know that you belong.
You really can solve a lot of male problems by getting in shape and making money. You still have problems, they're just smaller and you have more resources to handle them. The world is there for the taking for anyone who can learn from their mistakes, do what they say they were going to do, and stick with it, even if it's not sexy. What used to make a man acceptable now makes you extraordinary. The bar for winning has never been so low.
It's something that you should be afraid of. It should be afraid of, but that's why you should go out there and challenge yourself to fail. Because if you're not failing at something, that means you've set your goals to pass, to succeed at everything you do, which means you're not setting your goals high enough. So for me, okay, I'm gonna go out and break the Guinness Book of World Record for pull-ups. Lofty goal, which is why I failed it twice before I finally got it. I knew going into everything I've ever done in my life, Navy SEAL training 3 times before I got it. Everything I've ever done in my life took me 3 times before I got it. I knew that there was a huge possibility of failure.
Nourish your values like a mother and fight your enemies like a father. Even if you have to fight the enemies that are within yourself. Don't become a victim of yourself. It's possible to become a victim of tragedy, possible to become a victim of gossip, possible to become a victim of the things that happen out there, but here's the most important thing. Don't become a victim of yourself.
Sit here and complain why you came up short without taking responsibility and looking at yourself internally first on all the opportunities you decide to pass on for comfort. Then you're a shallow person, guys. If your day doesn't challenge you, don't ever expect to be changed by it. They go hand in hand, especially in the physical arena, guys. Strength is not from the efforts in a physical state. No, it starts with an undying will, belief that the journey you're about to embark on is a winnable course of action and that you can do it better than anyone's done it before. That belief is so ingrained in the will of the individual that creates the driving force of physical strength to turn into a maturity of something.
You will run into hard times as you are living out your destiny. If you don't want problems, don't do anything important in life. If you don't want problems, be like everybody else. If you don't want problems, be average, mediocre, living a life well beneath your potential, complaining about everything, blaming other people. Be just like everybody else if you don't want problems. But if you want to make a difference, if you want to pursue your vision, if you want to live out your maximum potential, there will be problems. And if you want it bad enough, you will get through those problems.
Being a winner is a curse. It doesn't matter how much you've won before. You're not a winner until you win again. And again, and again. Nothing is enough. No one understands. And you never want it to stop.
You're not here to be happy. You're here to live life. You're here to experience suffering. You're here to experience tribulation. You're here to experience heartbreak, pain, joy, pleasure. Every single avenue, every single emotion. Why would you limit yourself from experiencing that? Why? Because you're scared? You're afraid? You don't know how it's going to work out? It doesn't feel good? Perfectly fine. But I've come to understand, I've come to realize that the beauty of life isn't in pursuing happiness. It's in pursuing experiences.
Because everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. Erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it.
It's the starting line. And what a beautiful place to be. Where else would you want to be? To be standing at the edge of a new life, the edge of a new opportunity, the edge of a new path that you can walk. And I know that you might look up and see the mountain before you, the heights that you can't even see the tops of. But there's no place you'd rather be. Because right now, in this place, is the beginning of something beautiful. The opportunity to create like you've never created. The opportunity to let go of everything, all of that baggage that's kept you down in the past. You can let it go starting now.
It's a lonely journey. You're isolated. Those who used to keep pace with you will fall off. They'll see where their world ends and yours begins. Your ability to suffer, endure, outwork must be greater. You must be willing to extend yourself to the limit with no guarantee of success. Every day, you must ask yourself, did I do enough?
Discipline is rooted in the truth we tell ourselves. That's what it is. Discipline is rooted in the truth we tell ourselves. Because if you tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, I'm not happy with where I'm at. That's the truth. The truth is, I can do more. The truth is, I can do much better than I'm doing right now. And if that's the real truth, if that's what you believe, if you believe that to be the truth, you won't have to find more discipline. Discipline will find you.
Why not believe in it? What's the other option? There is no other option. It's a life forgotten, man. In the acting world, if I go to the audition, I have a fucking chance of getting the part. If I don't go to the audition, I'm out of the game. I know the outcome, nothing. Show up. Even if you get knocked on your ass, show up. At least you have a possibility, you have a chance. You have a voice of doing something with your fucking life. Believe that supremacy exists. Believe it within you. Because every motherfucker that had ever achieved it had to believe it when everyone else said it wasn't possible. They said it fucking was. And there they stand. Boom, did it. Your turn.
Feelings are like waves in the mind, and you just want to just be with them. You want to be in the misery. You want to be in the pain. You want to be in the emotional suffering. Just be there without any resistance, as if you're letting waves just move through you, and watch it, stay with it, and they will dissolve. Like waves dissolving back into the ocean, the feelings will dissolve into the mind.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
The greatest fear you face is yourself, because we all have dreams, and it's very scary sometimes to accept the dream that you have, and it's scarier still to say, okay, I want that. It's scary because you're afraid that if you put your heart and soul into it and you fail, then how are you going to feel about yourself, right? So being fearless means putting yourself out there and going for it. No matter what, go for it. Not for anybody else, but for yourself.
Be in the world. My relationship to source energy, to all that is God. I'm not talking about what you believe in God. I'm talking about your experience of that which is all life, which is divine and universal. I'm talking about the big deal. Being connected and aligned with that. When you are tuned in and charged into that, whenever you feel empty, you go inside yourself and you connect to the source, and you know that all things are possible.
Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day whispering, I will try again tomorrow. The journey towards your dreams starts with the courage to begin, to take that first step despite the uncertainty that lies ahead. It's about acknowledging your fears and at the same time not letting them hold you back. Every great achievement began with the decision to try, to step into the unknown. The path may not always be clear, and the destination may seem distant, yet every step you take is a victory. It's a testament to your strength, your resilience. Remember, the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. So muster your courage, take that first step, and watch as the path unfolds before you.
I've watched so many things and watched someone succeed at the end of it. It's like, God, I want to feel like that. But failure causes that one feeling. Without that failure involved, you don't have that feeling. If you just pass and you succeed and you're great, that feeling yeah, okay, I'm good. What takes you years, months, years to accomplish because you just can't get over the hump, but you continue going back to the drawing board. You're looking for those few seconds after you finally figure out the equation, whatever the equation may be, to get you to finally pass, to succeed. I live for that feeling.
The reason the goal isn't coming at you fast enough is because every person you've seen accomplish the goal, you only see it the moment they accomplish it. And the reason that it hurts so much when people are like, must be nice, oh, that happened overnight, it's because every time you fail, no one cares and no one sees. But when you finally win, people take notice.
Discredited.
But it's the only time they notice is when you actually win. And so to even further reinforce the point, the fact that everyone looks like an overnight success means that the 10 years where they sucked, no one saw. And so the fear that you have about people noticing the fact that you fail is ridiculous because they're barely going to notice when you succeed.
Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
You have to be equipped mentally to endure this process. Knowing what you're about to go into is step one. Knowing it's an uphill battle, but a winnable one and one that's achievable. And at the end of this race, guys, you're gonna be more capable. The first step, guys, is knowing it's a tough road. But through that effort, builds the character of the person you want to be at the end. Accept that.
Control freak is a word people with low standards use to describe people with high standards. You're not a control freak, you just want it done right the first time. You're not anxious, you care. Do not expect mediocre people to support world-class goals.
Let me teach you the real life, how it really is. The reason why you're a loser, and the reason why you're not making it, and the reason why you're trying to go through all these, I go to all these conventions, speak all the time. I look in the audience, and these people sign up fucking every year to go to convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. No, you're lazy, you know exactly what to do, because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
The lesson I cherish the most is how important it is to love what you do. If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. When you know you're truly giving it your all, there's no greater feeling in the world.
Well, what one big thing could that guy accomplish that would make all of the mediocrity of your life up to this point irrelevant? And why are you not putting every single ounce of your effort to prove that one point so that you could then justify everything up to that point? So it wouldn't have been mediocrity, it would have been the path to get there. Exactly, thank you. It would have been the journey.
When you're in that moment failing, what do you say to yourself?
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off? When I first walked into the Navy SEAL recruiter's office, he looked at me and said, there's only been 35 African Americans in 70 years make it through. You know what I said to myself? What if I can be the 36th? It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call nigger and this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's event.
Be a dangerous man. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things, all right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room.
I don't like my life. The person that I need to punish or get back at is the real person who got me here, which is me. And so you may be right that other people did certain things or you got dealt a bad hand. It also doesn't matter, because the only thing that you can't control is obviously the actions that you take. And the only person who's in control of that is you. And so the revenge porn is thinking about what the version of you who got you here did, and then acting in the exact opposite of that as many times as you possibly can. And the pain that you feel by rejecting the thing that you used to do that got you into this bad circumstance, that's the real revenge.
These could be signals that you need some time off. And those signals might be right. They could be correct. But don't take today off. Not today. Wait until tomorrow. Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed.
There's no dopamine. There's no dopamine in there at 300 pounds. You got nothing. Your hormones are shot. You have to envision something that is more powerful than you. Something has to get you out of bed. And you have to create it. It has to be false. Because you're not it. You're a fat piece of shit. And that's the reality of it. So you have to create a false reality to live in that, just to get to work on yourself.